What's up, guys? It's John here. Buying your first home is an exciting time. It is going to be one of the biggest purchases you're going to make during your lifetime. Today, I want to show you 5 tips that will help you make a better informed decision. So please watch the video until the end so you'll get the full benefit of all these money saving tips. The first tip I want to give you is get pre-qualified from your local lender. You want to start this process as soon as you can and as soon as you want to start doing your home searching. Because when you get pre-qualified, you already get a better idea of how much of a loan you can qualify for, so you know what kind of budget you have. So when you meet the agent, you're going to bring this pre-qualifying letter saying the bank is going to be able to lend you, for example, based on your income and your asset, they're willing to lend you $300,000. So your maximum budget is going to be the $300,000 loan you could qualify for, plus your cash that you already have in the bank for down payment. Let's say, for example, in this case is $50,000. Then your maximum budget for this home search is going to be $350,000. Knowing this number is good because you are not going to look at a house that's way beyond your budget. And you don't want to waste time on those, because the higher price home you look at, you're going to fall in love with those because usually they come with more amenity in an even better neighborhood. But the downfall is that you know that you're not going to be qualified for. So even if you make an offer and the offer accepted, it's unlikely this transaction will go through. So I'll definitely suggest you to get pre-qualified from your local bank and get the letter on hand as soon as you can. Also, when you are pre-qualified, when you make an offer and you mention this during your offer, inside your offer, you'll make your offer much stronger because the seller is going to know getting a financing is not going to be an issue. So they're more likely to work with you. The second tip I want to give you is get a buyer's agent to represent you, not the listing agent. So a lot of people make this mistake. When they go to an open house and they like the house, and then they start talking to the agent that's holding the open house, and you know that the listing agent represent the seller. They're legally to represent and look out for the seller. So sometimes the agent will tell you, oh, you know what, since I know the seller inside out, how about I represent you and the seller also? I represent both sides. This way you guys can save the seller commission. But in this case, you are not protected. When you do a negotiation, the listing agent is going to protect the seller, try to get as much money as they can get. So which means they're not looking, the agent is not looking out for your interest. So my suggestion is to always get a buyer's agent. Getting a buyer agent, you don't need to pay because the buyer agent is paid by splitting the commission with the listing agent. So it's always have someone on your side for the negotiation to represent you and to look out for your interests. All right. So the third tip I want to give you is manage your expectation. There's no perfect house. Every house comes with pros and cons. You just kind of have to weigh it out. You know, at the end of the day, nothing is perfect. You have to come up with some sort of ranking system or star rating system. So every time you look at a house, list it out the attribute that's very important to you and rank it from, for example, 1 to 5. So after each visit or open house, you come home, you do a ranking on all the attributes. And by the end of the day, you will have a ranking for the house you look at. So after you're looking at so many, you'll be able to have a point of reference. Come up with the ranking system that the house will meet most of your desired attribute. So you got to know you're going to have some trade-off to make, right? Certain house you look at, it's so big, it's so modern, it's so beautiful. However, it's right next to the train track or right next to a busy street. Even though it's a good deal in your mind, but you got to think of the resale. when you want to sell in 5-10 years, then you want to sell your house, that house is going to be hard to sell because it's right next to a busy street or it's right next to a train track, which is always very hard to sell. So definitely come up with a ranking system, and by the end of the day, rank each property based on the attribute. That way you can make a very logical, not emotional decision. The fourth tip I want to give you is don't feel rushed and don't fall in love with the house. Very often when first time home buyer, they got so excited, they go to an open house, and then you start getting very excited. You verbally tell the agent, I'm falling in love with this house. I want this house. And so your emotion is all shown, which is fine, but you want to kind of don't reveal too much with the agent, because once the selling agent know you're so emotionally attached that if you fall in love with the house, he or she is not going to negotiate much with you because they know they have the upper end. So when you make an offer, don't make it on the spot. I suggest after the open house, go home, discuss with your partner or your spouse, think through all the attributes. And like I mentioned before, rank each attribute on a point system. So that way you're logically thinking through, right? Then go home, sleep on it. The house will always be there. So by the next day, once you wake up fresh with a logical mindset, then you could decide whether you want to make an offer. So definitely don't make an emotional decision. The fifth tip I want to give you is visit as many homes as you can. There's always another house out there. So don't feel that this dream house, if you don't make an offer, it will go away. You want to visit as many as you can. The reason is, the more you look at, the more you know how much of the house you could get for your money. What's the market value of the area? You will get to know the neighborhood inside out. So for example, when I buy my house, I probably look at 40 and 50 in the same area, the neighborhood that we want. So after looking at 40, 50, I have a very good sense of what kind of house I can get for the budget. And I could spot a deal right away. And once you can spot the deal, you can confidently make a quick decision and make an offer, because you have seen so many. You have a very good feel of the market. All right. So definitely, these are the tips that I think will help you. And a lot of the tip I give you is going to save you tons of money. Okay, I would like to get some feedback from you. Please comment below. You can share with us what's your home buying criteria and what are the tips that you use or you get from others that help you with the process. I would like to hear from you. I also do private financial and tax consultation. So for any business inquiry, my email is listed below in the description section. I hope you learned something today. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like button and subscribe to my channel. I produce content like this every week, so I don't want you to miss it. I'll see you in my next video.